Hey guys, and welcome to I guess the last Total Drama character, or last Total Drama Oskayi Island character reveal video. It's the last one, and it's been quite a ride with these character reveals. It's been fun letting you guys know which characters or what kind of things what characters are going to be involved, what their personalities are, and what you guys think of them. So I'm gonna get into this one. So this one was the vote character. That was the other one that didn't get voted for. Unfortunately, it would have got revealed a lot sooner, but the votes just didn't go that way. Even though they still haven't gone that way, I'm gonna reveal the character anyways because it's the last one I have left to reveal. So this is a character reveal for a character that is returning in a different way or form. So, not to sound like a broken record, but this is the last character yet to be revealed. Now, you guys need to just sort of be a little bit ready for this one. This one is sort of a little dark, but it sort of makes a lot of sense with the evidence I've been given about this character's family life. Okay, so to get into it, the big final character to be revealed is just bear with me here. It'll all be explained very shortly. The character to be revealed is Zoe, the twin sister of Heather. Now, before you guys go into a typing rage fit over this one, just so you guys know, there is a logical explanation for this. Very logical. And I also talked to Tom about this. I also talked to Tom McGillis about this one. And he thought it, I'm not sure if he thought it made sense. I think he thought it was something that nobody's ever thought about before. I can't really speak for him. I think he thought it was a cool idea. I'm not really sure, but either way, I really like this idea. This is Heather's twin sister Zoe. But why are their names so different, you might ask? Why don't they rhyme like Jen and Gwen's do? Let's get into that. So the backstory. Now, before I get into Zoe's backstory, let's look at some evidence that I've been given for Heather. Heather's very snobby. In her audition tape, her audition's in the shower, of all places, and she gets out of the shower and basically she throws her towel off screen, on screen, so she's naked with a rolling camera in the bathroom. That's sort of very sketchy in my opinion, but that has nothing to do with Zoe. So either way, Heather's sort of like this snobby kind of girl who's always into herself, and that's why we love her. And it's very harsh, really strict competitor. She very competitive, very strategic, and very ruthless. That's why we like her. But imagine if you were her parents. How do you think she would act? How do you think her dad feels about her? How do you think she would have been when she was little? How bad do you think she was? And I guess since it's a cartoon, I decided that we can go a little bit extreme. So when Heather and Zoe were both babies, they were both ruthlessly so terrible and evil as babies that their parents couldn't handle them. So they put them up for adoption. And at the adoption center, nobody would take them because they were just so evil, and they could see them working that together they were just this powerhouse of snobbiness, sort of evil, and anybody that wanted to adopt them as a pair just basically said, well, together they're too much to handle. And even Heather and Zoe's parents thought that when they put up for adoption, together they're too much to handle. So eventually two parents came along and adopted Zoe by herself, because they said, well, we'll adopt one because we don't think we can handle two. So during this whole period where they were up for adoption, Heather and Zoe's parents would come by and visit them to see how they were doing. So like they wanted to be a part of their lives, but they just weren't ready for them or for both of them at that point in their lives. So they sort of just kept making sure they were okay and everything like that. But then they came back and they noticed that Heather was left there alone, and they could see that she was like upset that Zoe was gone. She was a little bit more she was a little bit too upset at that moment to be evil or anything. So they said, well, now that they're separated, maybe that was just the thing. Maybe since they're separated, they're maybe that's what was causing this problem. So basically, Heather and Heather's parents got in contact with the people who adopted Zoe, and both the parents agreed to stay in contact, but keep the two girls unaware that the other existed, due to the fright that if they ever got back together, that it could mean like the most awful thing that they've ever experienced, trying to raise two teenage daughters that are split images of each other and evil in every way. And that's why Heather is living with her real parents and Zoe is living with her adopted parents. You guys might say this is pretty harsh, but in a way, since it's a cartoon, we can sort of stretch this a little bit. I know it's never cool finding out that you're adopted, but I guess when Zoe does find out she's adopted, people were adopted and found out that their parents were actually their parents can relate to Zoe in that way. It's sort of a thing that's never been explored on the Total Drama show, because when Zoe meets Heather, at first they're wondering whose parents are the real parents. And Heather obviously determines that her parents are the real parents because of the way how close her mother looks to her. And you can see that if you look at Zoe, or if you look at Heather's mom and Heather, they look very similar. And Zoe determines that her mom's always looked a little bit more different than her. So basically, Heather and Zoe are these twins, and when they meet, become this evil force of nature to be reckoned with. And that's what Mega All-Stars has to offer, is this combo evil squad of Heather and Zoe. And of course, Zoe's boyfriend from Oskayi Island also goes very well with Alejandro. If you guys probably know what I'm talking about. So you guys can expect a certain hookup on this show that is devastating to basically the Total Drama franchise, because once these four get together, they become the powerhouse sort of evil alliance. And they are very, very powerful, to the point where they have everybody else has to find a way to break this up before it basically snowballs, because when all four of them are put together, they become this basically wrecking ball. And it's so threatening to the show. And at that point, there's nobody that can stop them when they meet. When Heather, Zoe, and Alejandro and this fourth person reach this wrecking ball status in Mega All-Stars, which totally just rocks the foundation of that show because they're so powerful. But no, Zoe is just like her sister in every way. I know I talked about with my friend that's helping me with the scripts. She said that twins are often never the same, but with these ones I wanted to make them a lot the same, like pretty much the same, identically, because of just the way Heather's personality is. I don't think that's something you can really not be born with. That's just how Heather and Zoe are, and that's how good of twins they are. And Heather and Zoe, when they meet each other, it becomes this super threatening thing. And also we have this obviously Zoe and Jen are gonna butt heads in Oskayi Island, and we're gonna be able to relive a new version of that Heather and Gwen rivalry, except through Jen and Zoe, and we get to see maybe what else could Heather possibly, or what else could Zoe do to Jen that's different from what Heather did to Gwen. Is there different things that I can do, and that I can make Zoe do that Heather might not do? Or I can make Zoe do things to Jen that Heather never thought of doing to Gwen. And that's sort of things I played around with. I do mimic some things that Heather does to Gwen with Zoe doing it to Jen, but there's some entirely new things that I make Zoe do to Jen that are just like a little bit above what Heather would do. I don't mean above like morally, I mean like above on the evil scale of what Zoe would do to Jen, because Zoe and Jen end up forming maybe an equal or bigger rivalry than Heather and Gwen did in their first season, because man, Jen is a lot more confident in taking on Zoe than I think Gwen was in taking on Heather. Because man, Jen and Zoe's rivalry is just trumped by nothing, and are like there's just two main rivalries in Oskayi Island. Jen and Zoe are obviously one of them. I'm gonna leave the other one hidden, but this becomes like one of the biggest battles of good versus evil in total drama history. And having Zoe around just makes it so much better, because Heather is such a huge personality in total drama that her twin sister sort of has a lot to live up to. But obviously Zoe doesn't know that her twin sister is that huge and that well known on reality TV, and has this already pre-established persona of evil. So Zoe gets to reinvent herself, or Zoe has the chance to reinvent the evil that is Heather and Zoe's sort of villainous side, or villain antics. And Zoe gets a lot more chances, or gets a little bit of a different storyline compared to Heather did in her first season, because Zoe obviously gets a boyfriend in her season. She has a love interest in her season, so she has a chance to manipulate her boyfriend and helping her sort of do things, helping her in the competition. Whereas Heather basically ran out of alliances when she got rid of Lindsay. Whereas instead of Lindsay and Beth, Zoe ends up getting just her boyfriend, and she ends up trying to do the final three alliance thing, but it quickly falls apart, and then she's left with her love interest, who decides to align with her and try and make it to the finale with her. But anyways, I'd like to talk more about Zoe. If you guys want to know more about Zoe, just leave a question down below. Don't ask when she gets eliminated or if she's going to make it to the finale, because that's obviously spoilers and I won't tell you. But either way, if you guys want to know any more backstory about Zoe, or if you have any more questions, just comment down below. Thank you guys for staying tuned for this whole entire series of the Total Drama Oskayi Island reveal series. I might do some more character redesigns, so look out for those for redesigns. I also might go into more personality with other characters when I have a chance to revisit them in the script. But anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys think this is pretty cool, and that you guys have the full cast. I'm going to post it all up on Weebly. The site should be up when this video goes up, so you guys can take a look at the whole cast. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, do all those things, and until further news, we're just gonna have to wait and see what this takes us. I have some opportunities that are presenting themselves to me, and I'm gonna take full advantage of them to try and get you guys Total Drama Oskayi Island. So thank you for watching. Stick around. There's gonna be way more awesome stuff to come, and I'll see you guys next time.